afternoon. Just update on our team. Came out of our bye week. Really thought that the guys did a really good job. I had a couple days of practice and focused on fundamentals and just blocking and tackling. Major emphasis technically getting better, getting some guys healthy, getting them rested, refreshed. That was a huge priority as well. I gave the guys Thursday, Friday, Saturday off, and then back on Sunday. So I thought that was good. Coaches went out, did a lot of recruiting. Very, very important part of what we do. Got to see a lot of players practice and play. That was very productive. So good bye week for us and much needed in a lot of different ways for our guys. So from injury update from the game, unfortunately, Cam Camper has torn his ACL, and he'll be out for the rest of the season. So we'll be having surgery in the near future. Did that in the first half against Rutgers, and obviously feel terrible for him, but huge part of our team. But he'll be beginning that long road to recovery, and our staff will do a great job of getting him back and having him ready for the fall. So, but Cam Jones still week to week, and some other guys that we're trying to continue to work to get healthy and get them, as many guys as possible, ready to play. Very excited about this weekend. Anytime you have a chance to play one of the best teams in the country, it's an awesome thing to have them here at home. And Coach Franklin continues to do a tremendous job. They're at Penn State, a very, very talented football team in all three phases, and a team that we play every single year and have to find a way to do our very, very best to be able to come out with a win on Saturday. So very, very talented football team that is coming to Bloomington, and excited to see what they can draw out of us in a positive way. Questions?
I recognize I'm asking for state secrets to some extent here, but with the bye week, the chance maybe to rest some guys, give some guys more reps in certain situations in practice, and now maybe an injury or two, are there some guys that maybe weren't playing as much before the bye week that you could see these last 4 weeks getting on the field a little bit more?
Yeah, the thing I focused on was rehab, reps, and rest. And you had guys in different categories. Some guys needed to rehab, injuries. Some guys needed to just flat-out rest. We didn't practice them at all. Some of our older guys have played a lot of snaps. And then a lot of guys got a lot of reps that they have not gotten in the past. So guys fell in those different categories based on our analysis of where they were at and what they needed. And just think a lot of the younger guys, I think a guy like Phillip Dunham kind of comes to mind. Really see him get a lot of reps this past week and during the bye week, and expect him to continue to grow and develop. I think that's a huge opportunity for him. And Brylo Lanier, same thing, even the younger guys in our program defensively. Caden Turner, another guy that's got a lot of reps that continuing to elevate his preparation and opportunity for him to be able to keep growing as a player. And I just think also our offensive line just trying to get, even though those guys are playing with us now, Josh Sales and Khalil Benson just continue to rep those guys, grow them, bring them along, allow them to develop, as well as our skill guys that are younger as well, just trying to continue to bring them to the point where they just keep getting better every week. So a lot of guys got a lot of good reps. Did a younger guy scrimmage there on Wednesday. We got a chance to get those guys out there to go some live reps and had some fun with that. So had the GAs calling the offense and the defense, and had a chance to be able to do some positive things. So yes, good question.
Tom, I think at the end of the game, after the game Saturday, you said everybody was going to be up for evaluation, basically. What was your evaluation of the quarterback position, and is that position still in the same place it was?
Yeah, we're definitely going to be able to look at all that, already done that, and we will move forward with that position, and I guess we'll have to see how that plays itself out, when it comes to game day. But at the same time, every position, as I said, is up for evaluation, and that was the case. And we're just trying to find the best combination to be able to give us a spark on offense and allow our guys to be able to move the football and score points. So didn't do that in the second half. Have not done that well in the second half in several different games here recently. And so definitely need to get a different product, a different output of our offense in the second half for sure. So everybody's up for evaluation, yes.
coach, Penn State comes back in, and the last time they played in Bloomington, one of the hallmark moments of the recent years in the program. Obviously, a little bit different situation, but the goal remains the same, to upset them. What do you remember about that game in 2020, and then what do you guys, look to take from that performance and hope to replicate?
Well, it's definitely something that a big part of our history. In that moment, unique situation for sure, with the way it all, kind of played itself out in regards to leading up to that. Weren't we even supposed to play them, to start the season, and with the schedule change and everything that happened with the pandemic, that was the case. And limited fans were obviously in attendance, and so the thing you remember is just the guys found a way to finish the game, and didn't got off to a strong start, led most of the game, and then fell behind there at the very end, and then found a way to rally back, sent to overtime, and have a historic play. So, but it's in the past, and new team, a lot of new guys, a lot of new faces on both teams, and so great opportunity for our team. Anytime you have a chance to play a top team in the country, that's what you want to be able to do, and our guys have a big week ahead of us to prepare for that. So just got to find a way to continue to get better and finish games.
Tom, the continued development of Jalen Lucas, what are you seeing from him, and how much more impact can he have this season? Yeah,
I think he's another one as the bye week, unfolded, continuing to find ways to get him the football. That's my charge to the offense. Has been for a while, probably since the first game. So just thought since he's been here, he's different, and trying to bring him along in his understanding of what we're doing. Obviously, you saw what he can do in the return game. Now he's leading the country in kickoff returns, and so just once again, you want to find ways to get him the football. His quickness, his burst, his speed is elite, and he's a tough, hard-nosed competitor. So yes, he needs to be a huge part of our offense moving forward. Yes.
Tom, at 3-5 right now, and 4 tough games remaining, and I know you take each game at a time, but with these 4 last games, what do you need to see from your team to look back and say there was progress in that last quarter of the season, whatever it was? What do you need to see in these 4 games?
Yeah, I think step one is to be able to consistently execute our fundamentals and our techniques. That includes schematic execution, the consistency there, continuing to see the growth from our younger players that we're playing, to our older guys that are still, having to make plays for us. That consistency is never going to cease to be a priority for us. It was last week. It's got to be this week. And I think, to me, it's about coming out of the second half and finishing, and I think that's something that we didn't do in our last couple games, that we had opportunities to do that. And even though our conference games have come down to the fourth quarter, we haven't found enough ways to make plays to finish those games the way we want them to. So just want to see that fight, that finish, the execution at those critical times. And so that's never going to cease to be a priority, and continue to, make changes. We got to make changes, whatever we got to do schematically, personnel-wise, what do we need to do to be able to get ourselves in that position. So, and you just want to see younger guys develop as well. Some guys are going to get opportunities because of some guys being dinged up, and already have had those, and I want to see them rise up and have a great finish to the 2022 season.
Coach, I think Taiwan was just talking about how basically the bye week you guys used obviously to get healthy, but also to kind of focus on the mental side of things. What, as a coaching staff, have you guys emphasized that maybe just to make sure that guys aren't mentally checking out, that they're staying locked in, they're staying focused on the rest of the season? Oh,
there's no question, and I think it's a huge priority and something you talk about and don't shy away from, and don't fail to address. I think that has been the focus without question, just using various videos, just various information that I utilize, and I think it's powerful for your mind, and I know our minds are very, very powerful, and I know that seasons can get hard and frustrating, and when you play the schedule we play, and you got to find a way to win those close games, and we haven't recently, it is frustrating, So, but you also you find out who you can really count on, who you can depend on, and he's one of those guys. Guys just keep fighting, and we got a whole bunch of those guys on this team, and so that's where you rely on that. You rely on that leadership. I've challenged our coaches to identify guys in their position rooms, and we're going to be able to do that here this week, and to be able to rely on that component of our program, our leadership that's all in place here, which allowed us, I thought, to practice really, really well. The two bye week practices, which can sometimes be challenging, especially in that situation and coming off another tough loss. And so I think our culture, rose up and showed what really we have here. We just got to continue to build off that. And that to me is, this is the fourth quarter of the season, our final 4 regular season games. So our guys have got to respond to that, and I expect them to. But yeah, it's the mind's a powerful thing, and right now it can be lying to you and tell you things, and then you believe things that can alter the way you make decisions on a daily basis. So we're really attacking that head on.
When Cam went out, you kind of talked about how high of a level he was playing at, obviously, and not that Aaron was unimportant before that, but I mean, the way he kind of slid over into a new position and kind of didn't miss a beat. His numbers are kind of up there now too. Just how has he been able to handle that transition, and what has he meant to your defense this year?
Well, I mean, it's a great example of when you lose somebody so talented and so valuable as Cam Jones. You want somebody else to step up, and Aaron Casey's been here, had a really disappointing season last year, and he knew that, and we met and challenged him, and he really attacked this whole offseason, but I think with Cam's absence, it's forced him, to be more of a leader, to be more of a dominant playmaker, to fill that void, of even just the pure production piece of it all. And so I'm just so proud of him for how he's responded, and not really surprised. I've always believed in the kid. I thought he was a really talented player. We took him as a high school safety to grow into a linebacker. He brings that athleticism to that position. He's got good length. He's strong and he's tough and he can run. And so, but he just lacked confidence, I thought, after last season. So just proud of him. And like I said, that's just what you need your leaders to do. He's one of our leaders on our team. And when somebody goes down, you got to rise up. And we need the same thing to happen in our receiver room right now. We need the same thing to happen on our offense right now. The same thing happened just at every other position where a guy may not be able to go for a week or so here, and however long that might be, So, but that's just a great testament to him and to his work ethic, and Coach Will doing a great job getting him ready to play and to elevate his game when called upon. So, yeah, he's been huge for us.
You talk a lot about just the mental aspect of the game on Saturday of a bye week. I know coaches approach it differently. Did you just hunker down and watch a bunch of other games? Do you unplug? What do you do on a weekend off? And what would you like your players to do in that?
Well, get some rest, and that was, for me, I tried to actually get some sleep. And then once the day started, I watched Penn State film, and then did watch them play, and then chose to watch one of our future opponents play later that night. But in between that, I had my laptop and spent a lot of time watching cut-ups and getting ready for Penn State, So, but I want our guys to they need kind of even a change of scenery. I did that from my home rather than doing it from my office. I think that change of scenery is good. And I think that I want all our guys to do something of that nature, change things up a little bit. You need to kind of chance to unplug. Because for us as coaches, we were out recruiting. Once we left practice, each day, then we would go out and recruit, and then you spend a lot of time getting ready in that regard, and that's really, really important. And without late Friday night watching games, and that's awesome. And I really enjoy that part. So, but Saturday to me is a chance to watch college football, which is enjoyable for all of us to do, and to be able to do it from a little different setting. So it was good. I think our guys came back, both coaches and players, refreshed and ready to attack this week.
Coach, you talked about the young guys getting a scrimmage. Who kind of stuck out to you there that Indiana fans can be excited about?
I think Omar Cooper, and we've made the decision with him, as you've noticed, that he played in 4 games and do not want to use that extra snap to cause him to lose a whole year of eligibility. So he was a definite guy that jumped out. I think Cameron Perry is another receiver that really shows unbelievable upside and promise. He has elite burst and ball skills, I think, are at a really high level. We see him every day on the offensive scout team. He definitely is really, he's been one that on a daily basis has stuck out, but even in that setting there as well. I think Caden Turner is another one. Every time we go live, he always seems to just make plays. He's a physical guy that is growing in his understanding of what we're doing schematically. I think it's very, very important. And I think Brendan Sorsby's another one, really, really talented football player that didn't get here until the summer and has really just been, learn our offense and got a chance to be our scout team quarterback every day and seeing him throw. He's just a really, really, really talented football player. So very excited about those three guys for our future. Got a lot of really good freshmen on this roster that need to be developed and need to be continuing to get opportunities in practice and just keep growing and getting better. So but those are the ones that kind of stick out to me.
I think one other guy that kind of hasn't come up in talking about receivers, Anderson Kobe, who I think has flashed, but
Who's that?
Anderson Kobe,
Okay.
just not been quite as consistent as Cam was. But is he another guy that you need to kind of keep pushing a little bit further along?
Absolutely, without question, and he can, and I expect him to. And you're right, he hasn't been quite as consistent. Has made plays for sure. Is a very explosive player. Just needs to be consistent in his performance, and so. That's something that we're striving for every day, is that consistency of preparation, consistency of execution, and eventually, how you're going to play the game. So he's the guy that this team needs to step up and rise up, and I expect him to, and I want him to, and I believe he will.
Hey, Coach. Hey, Coach. I'm wondering if you met with a lot of, the veterans and, had a group meeting with them to, finish the season strong and, guide the young players for their seasons ahead.
Yes, there's no question. Met with those guys individually, our key guys on our team, and just to be able to challenge them and understand what they need to do. We've identified each guy. There's a certain number of guys in each position group we've identified to meet with and to be able to challenge and to be able to make sure that this finishes the way that we all want it to. So yeah, and to me, it's your leadership. It's your leadership council that we have. Those group of guys, those 30 guys, really are those key ones. But at the same time, it's just that understanding of what is necessary in this moment to be able to finish the way we all want to.
I wanted to go back to the question on quarterbacks just to put a fine point on it. As I guess, are you saying there's a chance Connor won't be the guy on Saturday?
I'm just saying that you'll have to wait till Saturday to see who our starting quarterback is going to be. So